That does it.
That might have got it.
I think we got it. Oh my
There it
gosh. It's on the. Okay, yeah, there's 4 people watching. Yeah, so put this URL in. Have you got both of them up?
Yep, I'm doing it now.
Okay.
New link. Sorry, everyone.
Okay, so
I
yeah.
apologize.
It's wasn't your fault.
Well,
I don't know whose fault it was. I don't know why we couldn't get the live stream to start on the pre-planned URL. When you go into YouTube, you create an event. You can set the date and time. Say, okay, this is going to be the URL of the event at this date and time. And I tried to start that previously planned URL like 4 times, and it would never start.
Mm-hmm.
So I just picked I just said, go live now on not some pre-planned URL, and it worked. Anyway, let's do the intro real quick. Okay, good afternoon. Actually, good evening. Welcome to Ham Radio 2.0. My name is Jason. I'm KC5HWB. If this is your first time to join us here, hold on, Frank. If your first time to join us, this is a DMR Q&A live stream. And we are actually in the Ham Shack. I told, actually, Frank mentioned it a minute ago. So this is, everyone say hi to Frank.
Howdy. My name is Frank. I'm KG5AHJ.
So I said to Frank a minute ago, I was like, yeah, we're going to do this live stream. And he's like, so we're actually live from the Ham Shack for like the first time ever.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So we're live from the Ham Shack.
And you're finishing up the Ham Shack. Almost done.
Almost done. We're about 80% done with the Ham Shack. I still got some cleaning up over here to do. And I've got to hook the rest of my stuff up over here. And blah, blah, blah. So I think I'm pretty much in the center of the camera there. Okay, so this is a new venture that I decided to do. Special welcome to all the guys from the Facebook group DMR Info or Brandmeister Talk Group 31648 for the DMR Info Net. I tried to due to the YouTube difficulties, I was going to try to stream to that group at the same time I streamed this, and I didn't get that done.
Next time.
Yeah, we're going to try to do that next time. I think used to be YouTube, or I'm sorry, Facebook did not allow you to stream to Facebook and another platform at the same time. Facebook, they were kind of xenophobic about it. Is that the word?
What is this Facebook?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
Space page?
It's MySpace revisited. So
I have a MySpace account.
I bet you do. Every time I start talking to the camera, my nose starts to itch. So anyway, so I didn't get a chance to do that. I don't think Facebook disallows you to stream to multiple sources anymore. I'm going to try it and see. I might do a test video in the next few days to try to stream something to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Pretty sure you can do that now. You didn't used to be able to, but I think they fixed that. So let's give a shout out here to everybody in the chat. Looks like we got about 29 people watching. Once again, guys, those of you who are watching on the pre-planned URL, for some reason, I couldn't get the stream started on that URL, so we just started a fresh new link. Thank you for joining us. Again, what I started to say a second ago was this is a brand new venture for me. We're going to do a DMR Q&A session. So what you want to do, if you have questions about DMR, post them in the super chat. Go to the Facebook, or I'm sorry, the YouTube page. And there's a chat down if you're looking at it, it's down the right-hand side. And that's called a super chat. And you can go in there and you can even click on that $ down there. Let me
see. No, that's how you submit the questions. You got to click the $.
Well,
put in a number,
preferably
a fictitious number.
Right.
That doesn't mean anything. Higher the better.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Sure, it doesn't. So let's see. Let me click on this real quick. Yeah, I got full screen there. So you can click down here to donate to this stream and keep Ham Radio 2.0 going. Any types of donations are greatly appreciated because that is how we finance this. I'm actually doing this for a financing venture. I'm actually trying this as a live. The reason I'm doing it as a live stream, I've been thinking about doing a DMR Q&A for a while, but the reason I'm doing it as a live stream is so that we can do it in the super chat. So, but you don't have to you don't have to donate to ask questions. Please ask any questions you want to. Put it in the super chat. We'll try to answer it. If you guys come up with something that I can't answer, because I could probably answer most everything, but you know what? I learn something new every day also. I'm just like everybody else. So if you post a question I can't answer, which I hope someone does. I hope someone posts a question that I can't answer tonight.
I think I got one.
I doubt it. But but I'll have fun going and trying to find the answer. So what if I can't answer it, Frank will take your information down, your call sign, and as long as you're good on QRZ, I'll go find the information for you, and I will email you, assuming I can find the info to it. So one last thing before we get started. I've started a new Kickstarter, asking for money again. I started a Kickstarter campaign for the 2019 Tapper Digital Communications Conference, which is taking place September 20th to the 22nd, I think it is third weekend in September. And you can, and this will be for me to travel to Detroit this year and attend the Tapper conference and record all of those forums and put them on YouTube. So you can go right here, go to kickstarter.com/projects, Ham Radio 2, and 2019-TAPR-DCC-videos. So I will post this in the super chat real quick. Right there. And that is error. Try again. Edit and try again. That is not true. It's not an error.
Sorry, I have to approve it first.
No, you don't. Let's see. Hold on. Giving me an error now. Boom. Let's go see if that works. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that did it. So there is the link to my Tapper Kickstarter that will be for the trip to Detroit and record all the DCC videos. Had about 16 videos I recorded from last year. Those are up on the channel. They're all on a playlist. You can go to go to Ham Radio 2.0 and go to playlists and find those Tapper videos there. So, what questions do we have? Anybody asked a question yet?
We got one question so far.
Okay.
Is DMR at the point where it's easy to go mobile, coast to coast? He says cost to cost, but I think that's coast to coast from John.
John, don't let Frank teach you about typos or tease you about typos. Frank is the typo master. He can typo with the best of them, trust me. DMR, short answer, no. Not really.
Well, yes. With
a hotspot.
Yeah.
Yes,
with a hot, so there's an asterisk.
Right, yeah. So with a hotspot, yes. With repeat, I assume you're asking about repeaters. If clarify in the super chat there your question. If you're asking about repeaters, no. If you're asking about hotspots, yes. And even if you could go coast to coast on the repeaters, you know, we've got multiple networks in DMR. So some repeaters are on Brandmeister, some repeaters are on a C-Bridge somewhere. There's some repeaters on a DMR Plus network. So there's TGIF repeaters up now. TGIF is a really new up-and-coming network. So as far as repeater usage, no. But, yeah, you got a mobile hotspot connected to your smartphone, or maybe a lot of these newer cars actually have Wi-Fi built into the car. If you've got some kind of...
How much are you paying for that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't trust those things.
Well, it's just, I mean, basically you just take a SIM card and put it in your car, I think. So it's probably the same as a hotspot plan, I would think. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Who's got a newer car that they have a mobile hotspot built into the car? I think Noel does. KF5SLK. I think you do. I think your truck does. So, anyway, we'll see. We're down to 12 watching now. So...
Is that the new or old link?
Actually, well, wait a minute. That's the old link. That's probably the old link. I'm sorry. 57. Oh, let me close that window then. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no wonder. I wasn't seeing the chat scroll. I was looking at the wrong freaking chat.
And you posted your Kickstarter link in the
I
wrong
know.
chat, too.
I just realized that, too. So I got too many windows open.
Come on.
There's a
multitask.
Kickstarter link. Okay.
I thought you were an IT guy.
I know, I am. I figured out my mistake. So, all right. More questions. Keep them coming. Anybody else, Frank?
You're going to have to... Can you read Don's?
Don,
why don't more DMR repeaters do what McKinney repeaters does? Allow you to key up a talk group and switch to it when you are not limited to a couple of listed talk groups. So you can key up any on
clarification. Don, you can... The McKinney repeater is a Brandmeister repeater. So, McKinney, Texas, I assume you mean. The McKinney repeater is a Brandmeister repeater. So, you can key up and activate any Brandmeister talk group. But you can't activate talk groups from other networks. So, you can't activate anything on TGIF. You can't activate Texas Statewide on the Lone Star Network. You can't activate North America on the DMR Mark Network and that kind of stuff. But it's kind of that's up to the repeater's owner's discretion, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The repeater owner can put on whatever they want on their repeater that they put up. And on my repeaters, I put a limited number of talk groups because you can only use one talk group at a time per time slot anyway. So if you've got an active talk group that people want to use, then add it to there. And you can put it on push to timeout, or you can put it on static, however you want to do it. But Brandmeister repeaters will let you dynamically activate a lot of different talk groups. But Seabridge repeaters will let you dynamically activate different talk groups also just not as many as what Brandmeister has, like 1,300 some odd talk groups in their network right now. But they don't have access to other networks in some regards. So it depends on which talk group you're talking about. But somebody asked about, are you going to get T-Man KI5BEZ? You're going to get an FT3DR. I've been looking at the retailers to see who's got one. So I haven't seen anybody with one yet. RNL Electronics has them listed. RNL Electronics is one of my sponsors. Go to rnl.com. They have the radio listed, but it says out of stock, which basically means they haven't received it yet. I keep trading texts with Richard from Main Trading Company. He doesn't have any in yet either. So hopefully as soon as that radio drops, yeah, I'd like to get it and do a review on it. Can you have several users use a hotspot gateway not at the same time? Yes. Yes, you can. If you're talking about an HB Link server, yes. You can have several users connected to an HB Link server, and you can have them using it at the same time. You can have only one person talking at the same time because that HB Link server has... how to describe this? Okay, the HB Link server has a limited number of talk groups, and only one of those talk groups can be used at a time if it's a single time slot hotspot. So you have to be monitoring that talk group. But you can have multiple people, as many as you want, connected to it and monitoring, and only one person keyed up and talking at the time, just like you would on a normal talk group. If you're talking about Brandmeister connection, what was the question again? How did you word that? Several users use a hotspot gateway. When you say gateway, I assume you mean an HB Link server, like a gateway between a hotspot and a Seabridge. So yes, you can have multiple users using that at the same time, but not on multiple talk groups at the same time. I'll put it like that.
Okay.
What else you got, Frank?
What else do I have? Here is a tricky one.
Okay.
What's your favorite DMR radio right now?
That's Ape, right? The Smoking Ape?
The Smoking Ape.
What's up, dude? He's one of the regulars in the... he's got a... Smoking Ape has a YouTube channel for ham radio also. I think he does a lot of other stuff besides just ham radio, I believe. He does like electronic stuff, and I watch his ham radio videos, but I don't watch the other ones, so sorry, Ape, I don't know what they're about. But go to YouTube and look up The Smoking Ape. Check out his videos.
So he's trying to throw a monkey wrench in there, start a war?
Yeah.
All right.
No, he's a cool guy. Favorite DMR radio right now is probably the Anytone. Probably the Anytone.
The next version of this one.
Well, yes. I mean, it depends. The 868's good. The 878 has APRS, and the 878 Plus has APRS and Bluetooth.
See, that's why I want to get it. The and Bluetooth, that could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the APRS built into it, because this model does have the APRS, but it can only do it on the digital side.
Correct.
But having APRS and analog, I think that is a game changer, especially the mobile radio.
Yeah. It's not fully functional as an APRS. It's not the same as fully functional in APRS on transmitting over analog frequencies as what some of the other APRS radios are, but yeah, it does work. Close runner-up would be the Elenco, the DJ MP5 or whatever that is, and the BTEC 6x2 is nearly this. The BTEC 6x2, and AP already know this, but and the Anytone 868 are basically the same radio. And the BTEC comes with a bigger battery, but the 878 also comes with a bigger battery, so...
Then rolling off of that is, what do you recommend as hotspots for a hotspot?
Okay, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this.
I think you know where you're going.
I'm going to get in trouble for saying this.
Please, do tell.
No. Okay. My favorite hotspot right now.
Uh-huh.
Okay. No, I don't have it out here. My favorite hotspot right now is the OpenSpot.
Okay.
The OpenSpot 2. I'm sorry, Jason. Talking to you, dude. W9DXM. Sorry, but my favorite hotspot is the OpenSpot 2. Having said that, if you're going to get a Pi-Star hotspot, I just think the OpenSpot's easier to set up. It's more dummy-proof. I'm an idiot, okay? So if I'm trying to manipulate it and set up custom servers, it's easier to do with the OpenSpot than it is with Pi-Star. It's not impossible with Pi-Star. You can do it with Pi-Star. I've done it a dozen times with Pi-Star. It's just easier to do with the OpenSpot. Now, if you're just clicking on Brandmeister or TGIF servers from the drop-down menu and using the default servers, they're both the same. Okay, well, they're not the same, but they're both very easy to use. Mm-hmm. So if you're wanting a Pi-Star hotspot, DX Mini. DX Mini is my current favorite one. He's got he's got a model out that's got a small screen on it. That's a single time slot Pi Zero board. And he's got a model out with a bigger screen on it that's a Pi 3 plus B board that's dual time slot. So those are my preferred hotspots right now. You want to save a little bit of money? The Zoom Spot. The Zoom Spot's really good. You can get those exclusively at HRO. I've got no, I don't have it here. I saw this thing and I thought it was. This is a DX, not DX. This is the Northwest Digital DV3000 USB stick right here. But I did a review on the Zoom USB has a stick like this that runs the Blue DV software on like a Windows tablet and maybe an Android tablet, and it was easy to set up as well. But if I had to pick one, DX Mini. That's the one I would go with if I had to pick a Pi-Star.
Any thoughts on a Kenwood DMR radio?
Supposedly they're working on... No, take that back. I got confused. No, Kenwood will not do a DMR radio because they do DMR on the commercial side.
They do it already for Part 95?
No, Part 90.
Part 90.
Part 90. Kenwood makes DMR radios. They're single band. There's one right. Can you see that on the camera? Right.
A little bit.
In the middle. The one on the top, underneath my HRI 200 box. That's sacrilege. I should put the HRI 200 underneath the Kenwood. But, yeah, you can see it right there. So, Kenwood makes DMR radios, but their commercial side. Kenwood does not want to make DMR radios for the amateur side because of the high price tags that they sell the commercial radios for. So they're afraid that their commercial customers would go buy the amateur version. Blah, 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 blah. I don't fully agree with that, but that's what I'm told. I'm told that you will not see a DMR radio from Kenwood. Now, who knows? I'm told a lot of things that end up not coming true. But when I first started to answer you, I said, yeah, that's coming. What I meant was the D-Star, the Kenwood Tri-Band D74 D-Star HT, they're working on a mobile version of that. So hopefully by next year, by Dayton next year, I don't know. The guy at Kenwood, my buddy Dave, KD5DK, I think he kind of indicated it might be a couple of years. But he didn't know for sure. He was just he was like, if I had to guess, type thing. So, but I've not heard any definitive dates on that. But the Kenwood tri-band D-Star radio, they're going to be making a mobile version of it.
So, using hotspots, is it possible to scan multiple talk groups? Is it possible to scan multiple talks groups like a scan mode using a hotspot?
Yes. Yeah, you can go into your Brandmeister dashboard and enable. You can edit your hotspot. Okay, you can go into your Brandmeister dashboard and choose which hotspots you want static, and then all of those choose which talk groups you want. I'm getting tongue tied. Choose which talk groups you want static on your hotspot. It'll show up on the Brandmeister dashboard. You can say, I want talk group this one, all static. And then the scanning part's actually done in your radio. So you can set up a receive group, or you can turn on promiscuous mode, or you can set up an actual scan list and scan in your radio. But you can have all those talk groups static. I don't know if there's a limited number. There might be a limit that Brandmeister puts on it on the number of talk groups you can have statically assigned to a hotspot. I don't know, but I know you can have multiple ones. You can choose which ones are static and which ones are dynamic. 100%.
Yeah.
You can set them 100% of the time static. So
that might be a video for you.
Yeah.
Jot down an idea
Yeah,
there.
I've done a little bit. Yeah, I've not done much with the Brandmeister dashboard, but that's not a bad idea.
Going back to mobile radios, do you think Anytone will do a mobile version of the 8780 Plus? I'm assuming that they're asking, will it get the APRS in analog mode?
Anytone's been working on a mobile radio for like 2 years. They've changed it up a couple of times. I think the current...
I was waiting on it for the longest time before you sold me on this radio to finally get it in DMR, because I refused to do it until I got a dual band DMR mobile radio.
Right.
Just because I could throw it in the car and just have it there and not poking a lot.
Right. Anytone's working on a mobile radio. I think the number on it's a 578. I think. I don't remember the exact number on it, but it will be, I don't know if it'll have Bluetooth or APRS on the first version. I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say no. It'll probably be a mobile version of what is now the 868.
Sparky001 says, coming up supposedly in August.
Yeah, I've heard that too. They've been saying that for like...
Since... every
I
year?
don't know. They announced it like 2 years ago, and then I was hoping to see it by last fall, Christmas time, something like that. Then it was the spring, then it was Dayton, and now it's August. So I don't know. Hopefully, I hope it is August. I really do. But we'll see on that. Okay. Yes, 578 Sparky. So, yeah, so... Railham says he has the VHF NX5700, but been using it in NXDN mode, primarily to monitor railroads. Yeah, railroads use NXDN. I got the NX5800, the UHF version, and I bought the entitlement key for DMR and P25. So the radio will do UHF analog, UHF DMR, and UHF P25. I haven't really done much with it because, my gosh, the software code plug on those things are just a pain. Holy cow. Sheesh. But I'm gonna. That's on my vehicle, on my truck radio reconfiguration of my truck. That's part of the mix. So, got something else?
Pie in the sky. Will DMR ever be used over HF?
Oh, I think I saw him ask that.
Yeah, from Don here. I don't know. But I don't really think a DMR would be a good digital mode to be used over HF.
You can use Fusion over HF and D-Star over HF.
Okay, in that terms, why not?
Yeah, they've got a D-Star. They've got some kind of D-Star dongle that you can plug into a Flex radio, and of course,
what DMR is different from Fusion though, because DMR splits up, the times DMR has time frequency
yeah.
shifting,
Yeah.
and that would be very
Yeah.
difficult to do over HF.
Yeah.
Unlike Fusion, Fusion splits it up the top band and half band, the top sideband and lower sideband. For one will be digital data like pictures and things.
No, that's not how it works. No.
All right.
Fusion and DMR both split it into 6.25 gigahertz segments. The difference
Okay.
is that DMR does 2 voice segments, 6.25 kilohertz each, and
So
Fusion.
there's still time slice both of them.
Yes. Well, they're ultra narrow band is what they are. They
Okay.
take a 12.5 kilohertz band segment, and they split it in half so that each segment is 6.25 kilohertz.
Mm-hmm.
And DMR uses it both for phone transmissions, so both for voice transmissions.
Mm-hmm.
Fusion uses one side for phone and one side for GPS data. That's why when you're driving around talking into a Fusion repeater, you'll see the other station's call sign and how far he is from you, because it's showing you.
But they're still doing time slicing.
Yes. No. Well, no. Not like what you mean. You mean like the switch back and forth with the
'cause
time slot?
DMR
No.
has time slot 1 and 2.
Right.
Because they're
It's 'cause-
jumping between time slot 1 and 2
Right.
intermittently in the transmission. Fusion.
Fusion does no. Fusion DMR is TDMA, time divisional multiple access.
Yes.
Fusion is FDMA, frequency division multiple access. But the point is that Fusion still takes that 12.5 kilohertz bandwidth and splits it in half, and does half for voice and half for GPS data. That's why there's a mode on your Fusion radio that says VW for voice wide, and it will take the entire 12.5 kilohertz spectrum and make it all voice, and it doesn't transmit your GPS coordinates at that time. But yeah, no, it's not TDMA the way that DMR is. That's true. I don't know if that would make any difference over HF or not. Okay, isn't there a bandwidth issue with DMR? Mike, KE0VYC, I think is what that is. Bandwidth issue. I don't know what you mean by that. DMR is narrowband, so it takes up less spectrum than an analog repeater does. So actually, it saves bandwidth, if that's what you're talking about. Clarify your question in there if you want to. Have you done an open the box to first QSO video for the UV380? I did a unboxing of the UV380 and 390 both when they were brand new radios. Haven't done a QSO video about it. Not a bad idea. That's yeah. AP Raiders, good evening. Thanks for joining us, man. Good to see you out there again. Yes, everyone subscribe, as he says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Railham says, I agree with you on the Kenwood code plug. It's a pain till you learn everything. Took me 4 hours to add about 200 plus channels. Well, hey, if you added 200 channels in 4 hours, dude, I think it took me about 4 hours to learn where the heck the channels went. Because all their terminology is different from what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, golly. If you added 200 channels in 4 hours, you're doing pretty good. Let's see. There will be 2 models of the AT578, a Part 97 model that is tri-band with Bluetooth, GPS option, and a Part 90 that is dual band. Bud Talbot says that. Yes, that the original story I heard from Anytone was there would be 2 versions of the 578. One of them would be a dual band 25 watt, and one of them would be a dual band 75 watt. That was their first thing. So they've changed that up a few times. That is what you just said there. Who said that? Whoever I just said. I think your message is off the screen now. That's the latest info I've heard. But that's not the original info I heard from Anytone. So Anytone's changed that a couple times. So hopefully, fingers crossed, yeah, because one of their radios does say it's tri-band, and it does say that it will operate the 220 band for USA-only radios. Awesome. Awesome. That's all I got to say is awesome. I don't care about 220 DMR because you don't have any 220 DMR repeaters or hotspots, so you could do some really cool Simplex stuff with it. But I love the fact that it's a tri-band radio that you could do analog 2 meters and 220, and then you could do DMR 440 and analog 440 all in one radio. That's what I like about it.
So T-Man asked an interesting question.
Okay.
What do you use more, DMR or analog?
DMR. I do.
Analog.
You do.
Every morning.
Because, well, yeah, because...
I'm on analog and driving home from work. I'm on analog. Just because this is my only DMR radio.
Right.
And looking at if I charge the battery, bad operator here. It died this weekend, and if Jason's asked, there's more to that story. Trying to read that small screen while you're driving.
Oh,
and
you don't want to do
especially if you're doing the dual band monitor or dual time monitoring.
Yeah.
You don't know what side they're coming in, and especially if they
Right.
don't identify, hey, this is KG5AHJ's statewide or local.
Yeah.
I have no idea where they're coming from.
Well, but you have the Anytone tri-band analog radio in your car.
Tri-band, yep.
So yeah, Frank's on analog most of the time. Most of the time on... Do you get on 440 much?
I'm on 440.
Okay, so most of the time we haven't done any 220 stuff yet. We need to coordinate that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Frank's on analog, and I'm actually on DMR more right now. Ray Novak, if you're watching, I want you to listen to this part real quick, okay? So right now, I have 2 radios in my truck. I have a Kenwood ID 5100, and that's the one I've been talking on mostly, and I have my... Did I say Kenwood?
Yep.
I have an ICOM ID. I hope Ray Novak did hear that. I have an ICOM ID 5100, and I have an ICOM IC 7000 in my truck right now. Okay, the 7000, I don't have an antenna hooked up to it right now, but those are the 2 radios I have mounted in the truck. The Kenwood NX 5800 is going to go along with it, and then I put my. I'm probably going to take my Anytone tri-band and put it in there just to work 220 because I cannot, for the life of me, find a mobile 220 radio with a detachable face. Can't find one. Nobody makes one. There's some older Kenwoods, the like the 741, 742 series that have that, but I don't want to take
that is a requirement for my vehicle. I want a detachable face. I have it. I have a block of wood.
Right.
That I have I could screw a piece of plastic into, so I could interchange how many ever radios I want.
Right.
I'm just screwing into the same block of wood, so it doesn't matter about the dash or anything.
No, that's cool.
But that has to have a detachable face.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a DMR workshop coming up?
Yes. Is Steven on there?
Oh, he's in the Discord.
Oh, okay. Yes, down in Crockett, Texas, on August 3rd, there's a DMR workshop. To be explaining DMR for new operators from the Crockett's about 30 or 45 minutes outside of Conroe, Texas, and Conroe's about an hour north of downtown Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So down in that neck of the woods, I will be giving my DMR presentation. A couple other guys will be doing some DMR stuff, be programming some code plugs and whatnot. So if you guys are in Texas and can make it down there on August 3rd, reach out to KG50KB, Oscar Kilo Bravo, Steven. He's the trustee of the Crockett DMR repeater. And he's kind of spearheading this.
The initiative.
Yeah, the DMR
workshop.
What do they call it? Yeah.
Word salad.
Yeah, workshop. Yeah. Speaking of TYT, okay.
So, what DMR talk groups do you kind of monitor, or do you want to say?
I'm usually on Texas Statewide, the Lone Star Texas Statewide. I'll get on TGIF sometimes. And I'll get on a couple of the Brandmeister Texas talk groups sometimes. They have one for South Texas. There's 2 or 3 guys that I talk to down there sometimes, and several of our local repeaters here in Dallas Fort Worth have a repeater ID talk group attached to their talk group 9, so you can get into the talk group 9 through their repeater ID using Brandmeister. So, but most of the time I'm non-Texas Statewide.
So when I'm driving around on analog, you'll find me on the 8.8 machine kind of in the morning.
Yep.
The 9.4 and storm events, and I'm all around.
Yeah.
I'm all around.
So anyway, all right. What else we got? My local DMR repeater unlimited to the talk groups it offers, or can I listen to all talk groups? Henry, yeah, on your local DMR repeater. You can listen to all talk groups that are active at the time. So you can, a lot of these newer radios have what's called a promiscuous mode. What that does is when you turn that on your radio, it listens to all the talk groups on that time slot.
I think on Anytone, the Anytones is called dual monitoring. or something.
Yeah, I
like
think it's
that.
called monitor. It's called monitor on some radios.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can turn that on, and you can also build a receive group.
Promiscuous is also just sounds better.
Yeah, I don't know who came up with that name. It's kind of yeah. It's actually, I'm told promiscuous mode was an old Motorola term from way back in the day. So I thought that was a new term, but it's not. Somebody told me the other day. Let's see.
So you want to get to my question a little bit?
Yeah, you got a
Sure.
question?
Yep. Over the weekend, I went down and helped out with one of my other groups I volunteer with.
Yeah.
And of course, me being a giant ham guy, we did have a repeater
Okay.
that we were using for the group. It was deployed on the beach with a 15-foot antenna,
Okay.
and we were trying to use it over about 7 miles away. Do you see a issue here?
No.
With a handheld.
No.
Yeah.
Depending on.
You can't hit it past 2 miles. You got.
Well, you said on the. Are you in the hills?
No.
Is there a lot of hills?
On the beach.
It's on the beach.
On the beach.
And it's 15 feet off the ground.
15 feet in the air.
50? 50?
15. 1
15. That's what I thought you said.
1.5.
Okay.
And trying to hit it with handhelds within the car.
Inside of the car?
A lot of them, people are trying to key in the car.
Without an external antenna on the car.
No external antenna. It
really,
failed miserably.
It really depends on your terrain.
Yeah. Well, there was a crowded beach, and a farther about 2 miles out, you're going to be trying to go through every person and tent and metal whatever they have for sunshade. It just ate up the up the band.
Yeah.
So my thought is we do have a couple repeaters here. The North Texas chapter of this organization has one that is a 50-foot tower.
Okay.
Which we can put up, and that will go probably that distance easily.
50 feet. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But if we had deployed a second repeater, could we link them over APRS or not APRS? Arden.
Yeah. Yeah.
How would you do that?
Are they analog repeaters or DMR?
DMR. These are DMR
You can
radios.
Uh-huh.
This is the one I use for the group. Hence, it's dead because I forgot to charge it on like day 2 of the whole deployment.
You can set up an HB Link server, and it will act as a mini C bridge. And it will, and then you can point each of your repeaters to that HB Link server, all running on the Arden mesh.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a guy from the Cowtown Hamfest, Mark Kulross. I forget his call sign right now. He's part of the Cowtown Amateur Radio Club. He did a presentation on that 2 years ago at the Cowtown Hamfest, and I recorded it. It's on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can totally do that. Yeah,
that's something I was thinking about doing or recommending. I don't know why they deployed a 15-foot antenna on the beach while we're all trying to hit it on the beach. I think that was a little not good judgment there. It should have been up on at least on a building or something.
Yeah. You can totally that's totally doable.
But we did have Arden going on down there to get internet to our beach site. It's just we needed to have a second repeater location if they're only going to find another 15-foot antenna, and then link the 2 repeaters using Arden. Yeah. Because we could have 2 Arden nodes, and they'll go through everything pretty fine because they're both up high staring at each other. Yeah. So that will be all right.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
The attack angle for the handheld, especially but a lot of the other teams were transmitting within vehicles at the beach level. Will also, you're not going to have great line of sight, and they're going to be going through everyone there. I saw Mr. Noel Lee.
Yeah, I think there he is right there. All right, so somebody asked N5SKT, do you like the AT878 UB Plus concept of digital monitor instead of setting up group lists? I assume you mean receive groups. And yes, I do. Yeah, I think a digital monitor or to monitor everything on the time slot it's easier is what it is. That way you don't have to keep up with everything. Well, okay, first of all, if you're talking about a Brandmeister repeater that it's got access to 1,300 some odd talk groups, there's no receive group in the world that holds 1,300 talk groups in its list. So you couldn't even really do that. So the digital monitor or promiscuous mode or whatever you're talking about is a much better option for that. But yeah, it's just easier to set up. I would much rather have digital monitor. That's kind of one of the new things that hams have requested, and some of the new the Chinese vendors have added that because of ham radio requests.
But
So-
why do you need that many talk groups?
You don't. These are,
Do people want to have everything, every talk group, every repeater, every call sign, everything?
well, see,
stored
you
in the
got
radio?
you got to remember, okay, 1,300 talk groups is, and it might be Alex in there somewhere. I saw you pop in there a minute ago. You can correct me if it's more than 1,300 now because it keeps growing. But those are worldwide talk groups. There's a lot of non-English speaking talk groups in that mix. So when you're talking about going to France and Spain and these they have their own talk groups in Spanish and French and German talk groups, Russian talk groups, and all this kind of good stuff. So yeah, you don't really, I don't think you need, most people that are like, oh, I got 1,300 talk groups. Well, that's great. How many you talk on? 4. Yeah. So, I mean, there's just most people don't really care about, but it's nice to have the ability to go to a talk group that you don't normally monitor. If you got a group of friends that you've met at a ham fest or gone somewhere or whatever, if you need a yawn here, Frank, I can turn the screen off of you real quick.
I'm okay now. Hopefully, I've been fighting it for a bit.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so you can. You can do that if you want to, I guess. But okay. Inside the car, you need the Bree tactical antenna for your handheld unit. Yeah, try that. Let me know how it works out for you. Bridgecom recommends digital monitor over receive groups. Yeah. I don't doubt that. That makes sense to me. I would rather have digital monitor myself also. Now it's back on you.
I agree.
And I took the camera off myself for a minute.
I see you're scratching your nose. I'll call you out.
I am scratching my nose because I can. So it's a live event. All right. What other questions we got in the chat, guys?
There was a question about the TYT UV380 and an update of firmware.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be nice for you if you did a video or two on updating firmware on the DMR radios. I haven't seen too much videos on YouTube or tutorials on updating firmwares.
I did one on the 9600 not too long ago. I thought I'd done one on the no, I didn't do one on the 380. I think I did one on the 2017 a long time ago, like a year and a half ago. But yeah, I could add that to the mix if people want to see that.
Another video, at least I will recommend, is flashing the Arden nodes for the first time.
Oh, I've got that. That's up there. I've got Arden flash.
Not the mini, the nanos that I just did.
This guy, or
the nano station, the thing that's in the back of my
the nano station. Yeah. I did that.
You did that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Pretty sure I did. I'll have to go back and look at that. So, yeah. What's up, Chris? KD5HIY, good evening. Let's see. What else we got?
It's pretty much quieting it down. Any other comments, questions for Jason?
Yeah. Anyway, we got about 15-minute late start because of technical issues, so we've been going about 45 minutes right now, guys. Any other comments, questions for DMR? Let me know if you like this live stream, if you think it was a good idea, if you'd like to see it on a regular basis. We can maybe try to get it going both on Facebook and YouTube both at the same time next time. People can email me. You can email me questions if you use the email address questions@livefromthehamshack.tv. I've had that set up for a while. You can email questions and I'll make a list of questions and I'll read them on the air if you'd rather do it like that. If you don't want to, can we get Frank a little more blurry? Noel asks.
That's a Noel question.
Yeah, that's a Noel question.
Hey,
so,
I'm perfectly fine how I am.
Somewhere I have a Python program that reflashes Ubiquity Rocket. Yeah, those are Arden
it was
firmware flashing is pretty simple.
it was
Honestly.
pretty easy
Yeah.
for the NanoStation. There's just the steps they had on the website were kind of dated, and I ended up pseudo bricking mine twice.
But you got it going, right?
I got it going.
Okay. Okay.
I said pseudo,
Yeah,
not all the
pseudo.
way.
Pseudo. Okay. All
Become a second most expensive doorstop I would have in the house.
Well. Okay. All right. So more live streams. Don says, "Yes, we need more of this." Jason. Andy says, "Good evening, Andy. Live is good. Too bad you can't read all the chat. LOL." Well, that's what Frank is here for. Frank is here to read the chat. So if he misses something, then that's on him. So you guys yell at Frank. So so yeah, but microtick flashing was fun. Yeah, microtick flashing is a challenge. That one's actually a challenge. That one's a big challenge right here. I've got this guy right here. The GLINet 150M mini smart router. I recorded a video on it along with that that USB stick. It's over there.
I really like that USB stick.
Yeah.
The one drawback is you really have to be close to the station for it to connect.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's made for short range. Yeah.
So that would be great, you know, if you're right under the mesh node.
Yeah.
And you just want to directly connect to it, and no one has a Wi-Fi router connected to it.
Yeah. Totally. So, good. All right, guys. When are you going to work on updating your code plugs? Well, that's a good question. Now that I've got my shack reconfiguration done,
Let's have a tour of the shack.
I've actually got one cool thing here. This camera's doing well. No, I don't even have that hooked up right now. I unhooked that camera to bring to. So I have. Let me see if I can zoom out here. If you haven't watched this yet, no, I don't think you can see that.
We did have one comment real fast. How to flash a Nano Local M2? Can't get mine to work.
That's not DMR. Well, you know, we could do a live stream about Arden.
Well, let's just talk about little live streams right now.
We could do a live stream about Arden. I got a camera right there that's pointed straight down that I can sit here and fiddle with stuff on. So now it's going to be a lot easier to do radio unboxings and radio programmings. You know, how to program this radio, how to do that with that radio type thing. So that camera's not hooked up right now because we had to do some reconfiguration to get this camera on Frank over here.
Hi.
Usually that camera that's on Frank. Am I looking? Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah, you're right.
Usually that camera that's on Frank is over here, pointed to a mobile station that I have. So you're going to see some new stuff like that upcoming. Yeah, we could totally do a Arden. In fact, the guys at Cedar Creek Amateur Radio Club reached out to me yesterday and asked me if I could come do a presentation at their club on Arden. I did a DMR presentation for them.
Euless has been asking you also.
I don't have an Arden presentation.
I know, that's why I haven't been bothering you. I tried to go to the website because Arden says they post their old presentations.
They do.
I haven't found it.
Okay, I'll show them to you. Yeah, I found 2 or 3 really good presentations on the ardenmesh.org website. I've just never given, you know, like I could go through it and I could say, here's this, here's this, here's this, and I could answer a little bit of questions. But since it's not my presentation, I put together myself, I might get kind of stumped in some parts of it. But yeah, I could give an Arden presentation, but quite frankly, I think it'd be a little bit easier to do it as a live stream. So, what is the DMR nationwide VHF UHF Simplex channel? There's 6 of them. So, who is it that asked that? Railham. Let me find I'll show you where those are. Hold on one second. That is Mr. VA3XPR. And that is at this website, Rotchow. And those frequencies are right here. 441.0, 446.5, 446.075, and 433.450 is your UHF ones, and then these 2 are VHF. Quite frankly, I've never used any of the VHF stuff. If you go listen to any of these 4 frequencies at Dayton, there's a lot of people on those frequencies at Dayton.
Yep.
So
that was a busy channel.
yeah, Google VA3 XPR DMR Simplex for that. Well, I'll post that in the in the super chat also. Boom. Just like that. There we go. Okay. DMR workshop coming up in August in Crockett. Steven, I talked about that a minute ago. I don't know if you were here to hear that, but here we go. AM asks, he's talking about Elecraft. Oh, you're the one that was asking about QRP earlier.
The chat has been healthy.
Yeah, 90 people watching now. I think that's the most we've had all night.
Mm-hmm.
So N5UQJ, thanks Kevin. Thanks for watching. Yeah, everybody, thanks for watching. Yeah, comment below. Comment in the super chat, but also comment in the video. Once we end this stream, YouTube will process the video, and that takes like 20 minutes or something like that.
30 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. And then it'll post as an episode to my channel so that people can rewatch it. So you can go in and comment once it posts as a regular video. You can go in and comment
that does
on there
help
too.
Out a lot.
And that does help. It helps when I get comments. It helps when I get subscribers on the video, obviously, or on the channel, not on the video. And watch time. Comments and watch time help on every video. Watching here in South Dakota. Good evening, Todd. KC0CCB. What would you say is the flagship DMR radio right now?
Good question.
So, mobile or HT? Because the question was asked earlier, what's my favorite one? And my answer was the Anytone 878 or 878 Plus, depending on if you want Bluetooth or not. And that's probably what I would call a flagship. Alenco and BTEC 6x2, which are basically the same radio. There's a little bit of difference between those three. But they're all pretty much, they're made in the same factory. You can tell by looking at the menu. The Redivus RT52 is really good. I really like that one right now. Alliance, or however you say them, who's actually made by Redivus. I don't know why they put that name on that radio. They make the HD one. They're coming out with an HM1, and they actually reached out to me like 2 nights ago. Redivus reached out. I talk to these guys fairly regularly just to kind of get the inside scoop on what's coming up. So they're making an HM1 dual band DMR mobile radio. Okay, so when they reached out to me the other day and they asked me to measure the detachable face on one of my. They didn't say DMR radio. They said one of my mobile radios that has a detachable face, can you measure it so we can get dimensions on it? So that tells me they're looking at putting a detachable face on their HM1 mobile dual band radio.
Ooh, that'd be a big plus for me.
Yeah, because that's the main gripe that people have about the TYT 9600 or the Redivus RT90, which is the same radio, is it doesn't have a removable face. The screen on that's a really nice screen. It's much better than that Connect System screen, which is this big. But the Connect System CS800D has a detachable face, so you can remote mount it. And a lot of people like that. A lot of people have to have that for their vehicle application. So this new Redivus, new Alliance, made by Redivus, will have a detachable screen. So they're telling me right now. The Anytone will not.
It's all vaporware.
It's all vaporware until it's not. So.
Yep.
You ever heard any good reviews of the RT84? I did a review on the RT84. I have a video on the RT84. RT84, honestly, it's the same menu, same radio internally. I mean, it's not when you're going through the menus and setting up the channels and whatnot, it looks exactly the same as the UV380. There's not much difference.
Real fast, do you want to show us the Texas DMR website and how to find code plugs that we can go and edit and with also great information?
Okay, so people who are from outside of Texas, this is going to apply to you also. And we set this up a while back. And Chris KD5HIY, he's the main guru on this website here. I can hear that.
There was something on the mic, like a little white thing. I just saw it on the stream, and it started annoying me.
So we've got dmrtexas.net set up here so that you can go down and find repeaters. These are all the repeaters in North Texas. Here's all the repeaters. People ask me, how come you don't use hotspots more, Jason? This is why. These are all the repeaters just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
And why use a hotspot? We're supposed to be ham radio.
Right. Yeah. Nothing wrong with a hotspot, but if you got a repeater, it's better. Anyway, so right here, we've got a national code plugs page. And this is basically going to be a repository of links like that. You can't download the code plug from here, but you can go to this website and you can say, oh, I want code plugs for Arizona, Arkansas, California. And it'll link you to these different areas and let you find code plugs for wherever you want. And then these different these guys over at Hoosier DMR, Tony, he's a hoot, man. Let's see, Brandmeister dashboard, code plug vault. See right there? So you can get to, and TYT, there you go. So you can get to different places by going to dmrtexas.net and going at the top here and choosing code plugs, national code plug database. If you are in another state, go to that website, find your state, and if we don't have a listing for you, or if there is a listing for your state, but you're aware of another listing for your state, maybe there's multiple sources for code plugs in your state, let us know. Send us an email through that website. We'll put your link up there. We're trying to build up a website to where you can go and you can say, okay, here's the 50 states in the union. Maybe even we might even start putting some overseas stuff in there. Puerto Rico, South America, Canada, Canadian. It'd be great to get a repository of Canadian code plugs.
Canada's not overseas.
No, but it's not in the United States.
They're America number 2.
So, yeah. But yeah, we'd like to build that up to where you can go to that website and find code plugs for anywhere you want to go. So check that out when you can. Let's see. Okay, we've been going right about an hour now. And let's go. Okay. Okay, nice. Oh, Lawrence. Oh, yeah. How you doing? Hope you gave him the dimensions of the 5100 for the detachable face. That's awesome. It's a good idea, actually. I should do that. So, UK has a big DMR database. Yeah, if we could get... yeah, smash that like so he does more of these. Yeah, I'd like to get to the place where I'm doing a weekly live stream. Doesn't have to be about DMR. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to be about, we'll pick a topic each week, but we can switch it around. We can do DMR one week. We can do Arden one week. You guys were talking about QRP in there a little bit ago. We could do a QRP. Y'all were talking, yeah, you see that? That's my KX3. Somebody said something about Elecraft earlier. That's my KX3 right there. I've actually got a video upcoming that show you how to install the auto tuner inside of a KX3. So, which you can find that. Those are out there because that radio's been out for a while. But it's not a topic I've done on my channel, so I'm going to do it. Yeah. Quote of the night from Frank. Lay Canada... Oh, Noel. I should have read the name on that before I... All right.
I was laughing at it. I wasn't going to call it out.
Sheesh, okay.
But you stumbled right onto it.
I know. I did. You're right. Okay, guys, any other questions before we shut it down? We've been going I figured we'd go about an hour. And again, we got a late start because of technical difficulties, but I learned a couple of things from doing this tonight. This is the first time we've done a live stream from this location.
What? This is your home base.
Yep.
The first time we've done a live stream from here.
Yep.
but every other time, almost every other time, off-site, it started almost flawlessly.
I know. That's why. Yeah, there's something jacked up with the Wirecast software, I think. So,
we do need to get it like an intro video that we can start like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
beforehand.
like a countdown.
Yeah, a countdown.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
If these things do happen, we know 5 minutes before it starts.
Yeah. So.
Subscribe. Hit the bell.
Subscribe, hit the bell.
You have a Patreon? I haven't seen a link for it.
Patreon.com/hamradio is my Patreon website. You guys can help me financially sustain this video series by clicking on the dollar sign down there at the bottom of the super chat and donating. You can just do $1 or $2 if you like. You can sign up on Patreon. My Patreon subscribers actually get some extra stuff every now and then. I've got let's see.
I've been watching both.
Right here. Oh, well, I should switch that. So this is my Patreon page right here. I've got 29 patrons right now. And I'm about halfway to $500 a month. A little bit less. And, but stuff like this helps me financially maintain the show. This $8.25 a month plan comes up to $8.25 times 12 months a year is $99 annually. Or you can even go over here. This is going to be a new thing that I'm going to start. You can do an annual subscription for $99 right here. I'm going to offer a $30 discount to active military veterans and students. So active military veterans and students can get this for $69 a year.
Of people going to have a name?
Yeah, I actually I thought up a catchy name the other day.
Write it down. And
I forgot what it was, but it'll take me a minute. But I'll come. Yeah.
It's not going to be Mug Club.
It's not going to be Mud Club. I don't want to copyright anybody. No, it's not going to be Mug Club.
I think I had a good one too. The other month we were talking about this.
What?
A good name for it.
A good name for that?
Yeah, for your yearly contributors. Ooh.
I have a green screen, Don. I have I actually I bought a new one the other day. I've got one. I've got a small one that I've used before. I've got a new, larger green screen, and I'm gonna hang a curtain rod back here so I can slide it back and forth. So yeah, that.
One last question there. What do you recommend as hardware manufacturers for a DMR repeater?
The easiest one to do is Motorola. You can find a used Motorola XPR 8300 or 8400 on eBay for 8300, $400 to $600, 8400, $500 to $900, something like that. If you want something with a warranty and great support, go to Bridgecom. Get a Bridgecom repeater. They're about $1,200. They make them in 2 meters, 220, and 440, and they're easily interfaced with an MMDVM board. In fact, I've got one. No, it's not out here. It's in there. I'm going to do a video on that coming up. I'm going to take my Bridgecom repeater with my MMDVM board and connect it to my C-Bridge. That's a video upcoming. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, if you want a brand new repeater that has warranty and help setting up, get a Bridgecom. If you kind of know what you're doing and you don't mind buying used, Motorola's are bulletproof, man. You can roll those things down a staircase and they'll still work. So XPR 83 or 8400 for under $1,000. If you've got more money than you know what to do with, go buy an SL 5700. They're about $3,000 brand new, but you can get a 100-watt version of those. I don't remember how much the 100-watt versions are, but SL 5700 is a great repeater too, and it's 1U tall. It's really small. You can stick it in a rack, and it doesn't take up much room. So, thank you for the super chat donation, Railham and Fred. Appreciate you guys out there. KE4LTC Don, good evening. Said you had a question a little while ago about HD1 importing channels from a CSV file. I've never done an import from I've never done it on that radio. I've done an import from a CSV file on a Connect Systems radio, and I found it to be challenging because if everything's not in the right place, column-wise, if all the columns aren't named correctly and everything's not in the right order, and it proved to be a little bit
I
kind
find
of a
it's just
pain.
easier to use the programs that come from the manufacturers right now. I hope Chirp is going to start picking up DMR
I doubt it.
somehow, because that would be nice.
N0 GSG Contact Manager. Use the N0 GSG Contact Manager, and it will let you export and import code plugs from one radio manufacturer to another. So you can take a TYT code plug and port it over to Redivis, over to Anytone, over to Linko, and back and forth and whatnot. N0 GSG Contact Manager.
Ouch.
That don't you have? Yeah, I do have All Star. Yeah, I have All Star. I have a 220 Simplex node up in my house right there. I haven't been on it in like a month or so, but I do have it. I need to get that back up, and that's one of the things that once I get all this Shack junk done, my Arden will be up and running more permanently. My All Star will be up and running. My DMR repeater and a couple other things will be up and running more permanently. So, local All Star node. Do you guys frequent? Anyone else on the East Coast reflector? No, I don't get on the East Coast All Star. That we got a couple of All Star nodes here in DFW that I get on, but nothing on the East Coast. Rod's repeaters. Yeah, I get on Rod's 220 repeater, KD5HQF. He should be in here. Tell Rod to join the live stream next time. He should have been in here. So, okay, guys. Well, it's 9:24 by my clock, Central Standard Time. I think we're going to shut it down. Again, comment in there. After the video processes and goes to a regular video on the channel, I'll update the thumbnail on it so that you can see it. And tell me what other kind of live stream you want to see. We can do one for Arden. Mm-hmm. We'll definitely do another one for DMR. Had some good information tonight. And what else you want to see? What other kind of live streams you want to see on the channel here?
It'll be all good comments. We go through. I know Jason reads every one of them.
I read all my comments.
And cries quietly.
I read all my comments. I respond to about 80% of them. Some of them are just, hey, thanks for this. And I'll do a thumbs up, or sometimes I'll say thanks for watching. If you go in there and ask me a question, I respond to all of those on the YouTube comments. So, all right, Frank. Anything else tonight?
No, that's about it. We're trying to stay dry.
Yeah, man, there was a bad thunderstorm come through here right before we started the live stream.
Right.
Yeah, like it was thundering for like an hour and a half, and then it stopped 20 minutes before we started the live stream. Maybe that's why my Wirecast wouldn't work.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, that's why.
Let's just take that and run with it.
Yeah, sure, whatever. So, I saw you something about not for HD1. I don't know what you're talking about for HD1, but
Contact Manager. Says Contact Manager doesn't work with or for the HD1.
I thought Chris told me that it did. Chris, KD5HIY, the admin of DMRTexas.net, uses an HD1.
Just call him out.
And I thought that, so send us an email through DMRTexas.net. There's a web form in there where you can email the admins of the website. I'm pretty sure N0 GSG works with the HD1. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't recall. Try Google a program called Edit CP. CP like code plug. Edit CP. I've not used it, but I've heard a lot of people say good things about it. I need to download that and use it and try it on another.
He says N0.
No, it does not work. Okay,
yeah,
see, I've got too many radios. He said N0 GSG does not work with the HD1. Okay. That's too bad, but I don't know. Try Edit CP, Chris. See if that one does. I don't know. But okay, guys. 73, everyone have a good night. Hope to hear you on DMR. If you're in the state of Texas, get on the Texas Statewide. And you guys comment below. Let me know how you like this live stream. Let me know what you'd like to see upcoming. And we will
have beer next time.
We will have beer next time. We're gonna do a beer of the week each time. This is our beer of the week. So yeah, we're definitely gonna do that next time. All right, guys, y'all have a good one, and we'll catch you next time.